Ladies and gentlemen, when you've been caught in the web of a narcissist, there is a truth that takes time to fully comprehend, and it is far more disturbing than simple manipulation. Their hatred does not end with control or dominance in daily interactions. In the darkest corners of their inner world, control mutates into obsession, and obsession into something far more dangerous. They don't just want you obedient or dependent. They want you erased, invalidated, stripped of identity, and reduced to nothing. This desire often remains hidden beneath charm, intelligence, and calculated calm. By the time it becomes visible, the damage is already deep because narcissistic destruction is quiet, patient, and intentional. When a narcissist wants you destroyed, the first signs rarely appear through obvious actions. Instead, they surface in the private theater of the narcissist's imagination. Inside their mind, they replay disturbing fantasies where you lose everything that defines you. Your confidence collapses, your reputation crumbles, your joy disappears. These are not fleeting thoughts or harmless anger. They are obsessive mental rehearsals fueled by resentment and envy. The narcissist doesn't simply want to win an argument or feel superior in a moment. They crave total domination, a vision where you are powerless and they are exalted. In these fantasies, your suffering becomes their triumph, their proof of superiority. If you pay close attention, fragments of this inner world leak out in subtle, unsettling ways. It may appear as a brief smirk when you fail, or an eerie calm when something painful happens in your life. It shows up in jokes that feel unusually sharp, comments that linger long after they're spoken, or moments where your distress seems to energize them. These reactions are not accidental. They are glimpses into a mindset that feeds on your discomfort. While others might feel concern or empathy, the narcissist experiences pleasure. Your pain reassures them that they still matter, still dominate, still exist above the emptiness inside them. At the core of this behavior is a deep hunger for power. A narcissist does not feed on love or connection. They feed on dominance. When you cry, struggle, or doubt yourself, they interpret it as confirmation of control. Your vulnerability becomes evidence that they are winning. Instead of compassion, they feel satisfaction. Instead of remorse, they feel entitlement. This is why attempts to appeal to their humanity fail. Your suffering is not a problem to them. It is a resource. It fills the void they refuse to confront within themselves, a void made of insecurity, shame, and unbearable self-loathing. Once they experience the intoxicating effect of that control, it becomes addictive. The idea of silencing you, diminishing you, or watching you disappear emotionally becomes something they secretly crave. They will never admit this openly. Instead, it slips out through sarcastic remarks, veiled threats, and subtle predictions of your downfall. Phrases like, "You'd be lost without me," or "You'll regret this one day," are not casual arrogance. They are reflections of a darker fantasy where your independence terrifies them. Beneath those words lives a wish for your collapse, because your strength proves they do not own you. And here is the most dangerous truth. Fantasies do not remain harmless forever. The more a narcissist imagines your downfall, the more they long to see it become real. This is why survivors often describe a chilling sense that their abuser was waiting for them to break. That feeling is not paranoia. It is intuition. You can sense it in the silence when you struggle, in the disappointment when you recover, and in the strange calm when tragedy enters your life. These are not coincidences. They are warning signs that someone does not merely resent you, but wants to see you undone. These are glimpses into a disturbed mind quietly rehearsing your end, long before you ever recognize the danger. And when clarity finally breaks through the fog, you realize how terrifying those silent fantasies truly are. Before a narcissist ever fixates on your physical destruction, they target something far more intimate and cruel: your identity. This process is never rushed. It is slow, methodical, and intentional. They dismantle you piece by piece, memory by memory, belief by belief, until the person you once knew yourself to be feels distant and unreal. This is their true talent, destroying your spirit while keeping your body present, leaving you hollow but alive. It begins subtly, almost invisibly. They question your decisions, your instincts, your dreams, framing their words as concern or guidance. At first, it feels like support. Soon it turns into constant doubt. Are you sure that's realistic? I don't think you're cut out for that. No one else sees your potential the way I do. These statements seep into your mind like slow poison. Over time, their voice grows louder than your own. You hesitate before speaking, second-guess your thoughts, and feel ashamed of your ambitions. This is the first victory for them. When your inner voice weakens, their influence takes root. Once doubt is planted, isolation follows. They begin cutting your connections one by one, carefully and strategically. Friends are painted as toxic, family members as jealous or manipulative. Every person who offers perspective becomes a threat. Gradually, you find yourself alone, stripped of outside validation, left with only the narcissist as your reference point. When their voice is the only one you hear, their reality replaces yours. They define who you are, what you deserve, and what you're allowed to want. Slowly, you disappear as an individual and become something molded to serve their needs. This is not love. It is psychological execution. After isolating you, they attack your passions, the things that once brought you joy and meaning. Your hobbies are mocked. Your achievements are minimized. The work you were proud of is dismissed as unimpressive. Your dreams become punchlines. Each laugh, each dismissive comment chips away at your sense of purpose. What they are doing is dismantling your identity. If they can destroy what makes you unique, they can leave you empty. And when you are empty, you are easier to control, easier to discard, and easier to erase. This erasure of identity is the first stage of death in their twisted narrative. Once they hollow you out emotionally, the leap toward wanting you gone entirely becomes disturbingly small. They have already measured your limits. They know how much pain you can endure, how much of your spirit they can crush without resistance. Each success feeds their sense of power. At that point, you are no longer just someone they resent. You are someone they have already killed internally. Your body remains, but your fire, confidence, and will have been systematically extinguished. What makes this even more terrifying is how rarely you notice it while it's happening. One day, you wake up and no longer recognize yourself. You doubt every decision. You feel undeserving of love, incapable of independence, and afraid of existing without them. You begin believing that you are nothing on your own. That belief is not accidental. It is the outcome they designed from the beginning. They want you lifeless in spirit long before they destroy your future, your stability, or your sense of self entirely. Many survivors describe this experience as feeling dead inside, and that description is painfully accurate. That emotional numbness is exactly what the narcissist aims for. To erase your soul before ever considering erasing your presence. When a narcissist sets their sights on destroying you, control becomes their obsession. This goes far beyond influence. It becomes total domination. They want ownership over your thoughts, your actions, and even your emotions. They monitor your life obsessively, treating it as something that belongs to them rather than you. Every decision you make is scrutinized. Every choice is questioned. They cannot tolerate the idea of you living beyond their reach. Phone calls, messages, and outings become perceived threats. The more you attempt to reclaim autonomy, the more hostile they grow. This control often disguises itself as concern. Who were you talking to? Where are you going? What did you say? These questions are not harmless. They are surveillance tools, methods of tracking, predicting, and preparing their next move. They store details about your habits, your fears, your relationships, cataloging everything for later use. Each independent action you take is met with suspicion, guilt, or anger. What makes this especially dangerous is how gradually it escalates. It starts with small suggestions, gentle corrections. Maybe you shouldn't wear that. I don't think that person really likes you. Over time, those whispers become rules, and those rules become cages. You always mess that up. At first, it sounds like frustration, maybe even concern, but slowly it hardens into constant control. They begin dictating who you should see, where you should go, and what you're allowed to say. Your judgment erodes under the pressure, and resistance feels exhausting. You start telling yourself it's easier to comply, easier to stay quiet than to argue. But every time you give in, they tighten the chains a little more. Submission never satisfies them. They don't want compromise or peace. They want domination, total and unquestioned, where your will no longer exists. When a narcissist senses they are losing control, when they realize there is still strength left in you, still a part of you they cannot fully own, something dangerous shifts inside them. You are no longer just someone to manage. You become a threat. And in their world, threats must be eliminated. If they cannot bend you completely, they fixate on breaking you. Their obsession with control transforms into an obsession with your disappearance. To them, your independence is intolerable. Your survival outside their authority feels like an insult they cannot forgive. What makes this so disturbing is how personal it is. This is not random cruelty or distant malice. It is intimate, targeted, and deliberate. You are not trapped in a bad situation. You are being controlled by a mind that sees your life as an extension of its own power. They study your routines, manipulate circumstances, and test boundaries relentlessly. Every reaction you have becomes data. They search for weaknesses, emotional cracks, moments of fatigue, anything they can exploit to crush your independence completely and remind you that you are not allowed to exist freely. Each attempt you make to reclaim control only intensifies their response. They come back stronger, colder, more strategic. To them, your autonomy is rebellion. Your freedom is defiance. This constant pressure drains you. It leaves you exhausted, confused, and isolated. You begin doubting your instincts, questioning your thoughts, fearing the consequences of acting freely. While you struggle to hold on to your sanity, the narcissist is already planning ahead, imagining the moment they no longer need to control you because you are either fully broken or completely erased. Over time, their hunger for control mutates into a craving for destruction. Control for them is never just about influence. It is about ownership, possession, domination. And when ownership starts slipping through their fingers, the desire to see you gone takes its place. That's when the tactics change. One of the most dangerous signs of this shift is how quietly they begin attacking your reputation. They don't confront you openly. Instead, they move in shadows, using whispers, distortions, and calculated lies to dismantle how others see you. This is the art of character assassination, a silent war designed to make you appear unstable, guilty, or untrustworthy without ever raising suspicion. To outsiders, everything looks normal. To you, it feels like reality is collapsing. While you are fighting to maintain dignity and clarity, they are rewriting your story behind closed doors. Smear campaigns are their weapon of choice. They begin subtly, twisting facts just enough to sound believable, framing lies as concern and positioning themselves as the misunderstood victim. They tell friends and family half-truths that cast doubt on your character. They share carefully edited versions of events that make you seem difficult, dramatic, or unreliable. At work, they plant seeds that question your professionalism or stability. Slowly, people who once supported you begin pulling away, uncertain, confused, unsure of who to trust. Isolation tightens again, not by force this time, but by doubt. And in that isolation, the narcissist watches, satisfied, knowing they are one step closer to erasing you completely. These lies are especially difficult to fight because they are carefully wrapped in fragments of truth, timed perfectly to your emotional reactions, and built around your very human flaws. By the time you realize what is happening, the damage is already done. People have changed. The atmosphere around you feels colder, heavier. Friends respond differently. Coworkers keep their distance. Family members look at you with hesitation instead of trust. You sense judgment everywhere but cannot point to its source. That is when the narcissist feels satisfaction. They watch you question your worth, your sanity, your value, knowing their silent work is paying off. This strategy is so dangerous because it attacks before you ever get the chance to defend yourself. You feel the shift long before you understand it. Conversations become shorter. Invitations stop coming. Support fades without explanation. Your social world, once a source of safety, becomes a battlefield you don't even know you're fighting on. And the narcissist doesn't need to raise their voice or show aggression. They stand back and let doubt do the work for them. Your isolation is not accidental. It is engineered. Every strained relationship becomes proof to them that their control is tightening. Their pleasure comes from watching you shrink under that pressure. They enjoy seeing you confused, isolated, and unsure of your place in the world. They don't need to touch you to destroy you. They turn your social environment into a weapon. By controlling what others think of you, they slowly reduce your life. Your circle gets smaller. Your confidence weakens. Your sense of belonging fades. When they reach this stage, when you are surrounded by silence and suspicion, they've already rehearsed your erasure. You are still present, but no longer seen. That invisibility is their triumph. You begin living as a shadow of yourself, second-guessing every word, every action, every emotion. You no longer know what is real or who you can trust. That confusion is not a side effect. It is the goal. Every rumor, every half-truth, every carefully planted doubt becomes another brick in the wall around you. Their aim is not just to hurt you, it is to ensure no one believes you, no one defends you, and no one recognizes your value. When that happens, they can watch calmly as you struggle alone in a world they've quietly poisoned. That is why recognizing early warning signs matters so deeply. Strange comments from friends, sudden distance from colleagues, a shift in how people respond to you. These moments are not coincidences. They are evidence of manipulation already in motion. A narcissist rehearsing your destruction leaves fingerprints everywhere, even if you can't see the whole picture yet. Their cruelty goes far beyond manipulation. It is driven by the twisted pleasure they feel when you hurt. They don't just want control, they want to feel alive through your suffering, energized by your distress, validated by your pain. Your sadness becomes their entertainment. Your fear becomes their fuel. Your breakdown becomes their quiet victory. They may hide it behind false kindness, fake concern, or carefully chosen words of sympathy. But behind the mask is cold satisfaction. They are counting every tear, every sleepless night, every moment you feel hopeless. They don't rush to comfort you. They watch. They observe. They pretend to care while secretly feeding on the sight of your suffering. Each moment you weaken reinforces their sense of power. Your pain becomes proof that they matter. At first, the cruelty seems small, a sharp remark, a sarcastic joke, an insult disguised as advice. But these moments accumulate. Each one chips away at your confidence, your clarity, your self-trust. Over time, you begin believing the lies they tell about you. Doubt sinks so deeply that you question your own worth. And the moment they see confusion in your eyes, they know they have control. That fragility is what they want. Dependence, vulnerability, the belief that peace only exists when they allow it. This pattern doesn't fade, it grows. They escalate. They find new ways to provoke, manipulate, and destabilize you. Your reactions become their game. Every tear, every attempt to defend yourself, every moment you lose control feels like another win to them. They don't admire your strength. They see it as something to crush. Every act of courage threatens their dominance, so they respond with greater cruelty. Your pain becomes their purpose. Your destruction becomes their destination. What makes this truly dangerous is how normal it looks from the outside. To the world, the narcissist appears charming, generous, even compassionate. People see patience and kindness. Meanwhile, you appear emotional, distant, or unstable. That contrast is intentional. They create two realities, one polished and public, one dark and private. You live in the nightmare while they wear innocence like armor. Over time, they even make you doubt your own perception. Maybe you're too sensitive. Maybe you misunderstood. That confusion is exactly what they need. The more uncertain you become, the easier it is for them to control you. When you no longer trust your own mind, you start leaning on theirs. That dependency feeds their ego and reinforces their sense of superiority. But their desire does not stop at control. It moves into something far darker, a fantasy where you don't just obey, don't just suffer, but disappear entirely. In their mind, the ultimate victory is not owning you, it is erasing you. Watching you suffer is only a rehearsal for what they imagine as the final act. In their mind, your pain is practice, a preview of a world where you no longer exist. They fantasize about your name fading, your influence dissolving, your presence erased as if it never mattered. This has nothing to do with love, closure, or loss. It is about domination and victory. They want to stand alone in a reality where you are gone and they remain untouched, unchallenged, and triumphant. Your suffering reassures them that this ending is possible, that your disappearance is not only imaginable, but achievable. You can sense the shift when they begin quietly preparing for life without you. It doesn't happen dramatically. There are no explosions or obvious goodbyes. Instead, it unfolds subtly. They start creating distance, building a separate world that no longer includes you. New connections appear, new alliances form. They flirt, cultivate replacements, and surround themselves with people who serve their next phase. To you, it feels cold and disorienting. To them, it feels exhilarating. It feels like escape, like power, like stepping into a future where they no longer need to pretend you matter. At the same time, they begin studying your life closely, your talents, your achievements, your relationships, even your possessions. Not out of admiration, but strategy. They imagine how to replace what you provided or take it for themselves. This isn't about surviving without you. It's about winning without you. They want proof for themselves and others that they didn't just move on, but improved because you're gone. In their mind, your absence becomes the catalyst for their success, their freedom, their glow up. They rehearse this victory repeatedly. They picture themselves thriving, admired, and validated, while you fade into irrelevance. This mental rehearsal is not harmless fantasy. It is preparation. Every step they take is calculated to ensure that when you finally leave, willingly or not, there is no trace of you left behind. They begin erasing your influence quietly, replacing your role, taking credit for shared achievements, positioning themselves as the sole author of the story. Long before you disappear physically, you are turned into a ghost. They rewrite the narrative carefully and relentlessly. In their version of events, you become the villain, the problem, the obstacle they had to survive. They present themselves as the wounded hero who endured you and emerged stronger. This story spreads while you're still trying to understand what's happening. And what makes it chilling is how calm they seem during this phase. The rage fades. The arguments stop. They appear peaceful, detached, almost kind. But this calm is not healing. It is calculation. It is the quiet certainty of someone who has already decided you are expendable. This is the narcissist's final stage, the shift from control to elimination. Their obsession no longer stops at owning you. It expands into erasing you. They want to make sure there is no place for you to return to, no audience for your truth, no one willing to hear your side. This is the cruelest form of power, not just controlling your life, but rewriting the memory of your existence. To them, true victory is not dominance over you, but your absence from the story altogether. To survive this, you must see the truth behind the mask. Their calm is not peace. Their kindness is not care. Their words are not love. Every gesture is a move in a long game designed to maintain control or prepare for your erasure. Recognize it early. Protect your boundaries. Guard your name. Preserve your truth relentlessly. Because the moment a narcissist begins imagining a world without you, they are already building it brick by brick. But their fantasy does not have to become your fate. The power they claim over you only survives as long as you believe in it. The moment you stop feeding their control, their illusion begins to crack. And in that space, where you reclaim your voice, your worth, and your reality, their empire of lies starts to collapse. What they fear most is not losing you. It is losing power over you. And once that power is gone, so is their hold. When you look even deeper into this pattern, you begin to understand that a narcissist's desire to erase you is rooted in terror, not strength. Your existence threatens the fragile image they work so hard to protect. You carry memories of who they really are, moments where the mask slipped, times when they were weak, cruel, or exposed. As long as you exist with your truth intact, they are not safe. That is why they don't just want distance from you. They want certainty that your voice no longer carries weight, that your memories no longer matter, that your presence no longer challenges the version of themselves they present to the world. This is why their behavior becomes so strategic and emotionally cold near the end. They are no longer reacting. They are executing a plan. Emotional detachment replaces chaos because they believe they are already ahead. They speak less, reveal less, and observe more. Every interaction becomes measured. Every word is chosen carefully. They are no longer trying to convince you of anything. They are positioning themselves for the aftermath. In their mind, the outcome is already decided. You are just catching up to a reality they've been rehearsing for a long time. What's especially painful is how invisible this process feels while you're inside it. You may still be trying to fix things, communicate, or understand what went wrong, while they have emotionally checked out and moved on to replacement fantasies. That mismatch creates deep confusion. You feel abandoned but can't explain why. You feel dismissed but don't know when it happened. That confusion weakens you, and weakness makes it harder to protect yourself. This is not accidental. Disorientation keeps you focused on survival instead of clarity, which is exactly where they want you. Another layer of this cruelty is how they bait you into reacting so they can justify their narrative. When you finally break down, express anger, or demand answers, they quietly record it, mentally or socially. That reaction becomes evidence. They show it to others as proof that you were unstable, aggressive, or unreasonable. They never show what led up to it. They never show the months or years of erosion. Your reaction becomes the story, while their actions disappear into silence. This allows them to erase you with moral permission. Over time, you may notice that even your achievements no longer feel like victories. You hesitate to celebrate. You downplay your success. You shrink your joy. That is another consequence of being erased emotionally. You are still breathing, still functioning, but you are no longer taking up space. The narcissist senses this and feels satisfied. In their mind, you are already fading. You are already becoming smaller. And the smaller you become, the less effort it takes for them to replace you entirely. Yet what they never truly account for is resilience. Even when your confidence is shattered, something inside you remains aware. There is a quiet part of you that notices the patterns, the coldness, the manipulation. That awareness is dangerous to them. That is why they rush the erasure once they sense you waking up. Distance, discard, smear, replacement. These are not random stages. They are steps designed to stay ahead of your clarity. They fear the moment you fully understand what was done to you. Healing begins the moment you stop internalizing their story and start observing their behavior, not emotionally, but objectively. When you see that their need to erase you has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their fear, something shifts. You realize that your existence is not the problem. Your awareness is, your independence is, your truth is. And that realization weakens their hold because control cannot survive clarity. Even if they succeed in turning people against you temporarily, even if they rewrite the story for a while, lies require constant maintenance. Truth does not. Over time, cracks appear, inconsistencies surface, masks slip. And while they exhaust themselves defending a false reality, you begin rebuilding something real, quietly, steadily, on your own terms. Their greatest fear is not that you will disappear, it is that you will survive, remember who you are, and live fully without them. That is the ending they can never control. In the end, the most important truth to understand is that a narcissist's desire to erase you is never proof of your weakness. It is evidence of how deeply your existence unsettled them. You mattered in ways they could not control, and that terrified them. They did not seek to destroy you because you were insignificant, but because you were powerful in ways they could not dominate. Your empathy, your awareness, your ability to grow and change threatened the fragile identity they worked so desperately to protect. Erasing you became their way of restoring a sense of superiority they never truly possessed. What they take from you, piece by piece, is not gone forever. Confidence can be rebuilt. Identity can be reclaimed. Truth can be restored. Even after the isolation, the doubt, and the erosion of your spirit, something remains untouched. The part of you that knows this was not love, not normal, not your fault. That awareness is the beginning of your return. The narcissist depends on you staying confused, silent, and self-blaming. The moment you stop doing that, their power weakens. Control cannot survive once you stop feeding it with fear and obedience.